Hi lovely people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Over the last couple of years, Afrobeats has literally taken over the entire music industry, and that is mostly due to global stars such as Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Rema, but it has really been the women that has garnered my attention, and one of those artists would be the singer Tems, based out of Lagos, Nigeria. Depending on when you're watching this video, as we anticipate, listen to, and enjoy Tems' debut album, Born in the Wild, I wanted to highlight Tems' inspirational journey from a local talent to an international star. Born Temalade Openiyi on June 11, 1995, in Lagos, Nigeria, to a Nigerian mother and British Nigerian father, her parents and older brother Tunji moved to King's Cross in London when she was an infant, where they lived for a couple years until her parents divorced when Tems was 4. Soon after, Tems, her mother, and brother returned to Nigeria, where her childhood was filled with a lot of isolation due to her shy nature and being bullied by her classmates. Growing up, Tems said she was a loner all throughout grade school and was far from one of the popular students. She spent a lot of time crying and escaping to the music room when she joined her school choir. At first, she was insecure about the deep bass in her voice until her high school music teacher encouraged her to have the courage to sing with her real voice, which later gave Tems the confidence to tap into her unique tone. This later resulted in her speaking voice dropping to a lower register. As a way to voice her most inner thoughts, Tems started writing poetry around age 9 about literally any and everything she experienced, whether it was breakfast, being sad, or not having friends. Tems once said, "I'm not good at communicating. My way of communicating is through music. I'd much rather offload my emotions through singing than talk about them." She said that people around her got annoyed with her singing about every single thing she was doing, to which Tems responded that singing is as natural as breathing for her. Essentially, it is impossible for her not to do so. She began to take music and singing seriously when she was around 13, when she received her first CD, which was a fake Destiny's Child CD that had 30 songs on it. But Tems made it her mission to learn the lyrics to all 30 of those songs. Her imagination and love for music grew fonder as her brother used to bring home pirated CDs, and she began listening to and being influenced by artists such as Lauryn Hill, Paramore, Lil Wayne, Kate Nash, Outkast, Aaliyah, and of course, the Nigerian fan favorite, Celine Dion. By the time Tems became a teenager in the mid-2010s, is when she started crafting her own sound and starts to find herself within herself. But she knew that she had to have a plan B because in Nigeria, aspirations of becoming a musical artist was not taken seriously. Growing up, Tems told people that she wanted to be an architect because it was a profession that sounded smart and as if she had a good head on her shoulders. But Tems' mother did not give her daughter a choice as she had to go earn a degree, so her mother went ahead and applied to a school on behalf of her daughter. Tems enrolled in Monash University College in Johannesburg, South Africa in 2016, in which she studied economics and later worked in digital marketing upon graduating. When Tems was 23, she thought about the possibility of being in the office for the next couple of years, and it was not something she pictured herself doing when she was more passionate about music, so she quit her job. But during her time schooling in South Africa was when she first discovered the South African house genre Amapiano, which heavily influenced her desire to produce for herself, as she was inspired by its technique, song structure due to its synths, and gradual build to the chorus more so than the sound itself. Tems soon taught herself how to produce by watching tutorials on YouTube, as she wanted her music to capture the essence of her emotions and sounds that she wanted to convey. And around 20 or 21 was when she really started to produce for herself. Tems said in a conversation with Kendrick Lamar for Interview magazine that, "When I was in uni, I only had songs on the piano and the guitar. I never entered the studio. We didn't really have access to things like that back home, and I wanted something more. Like, how do I go to the next level of musicality? I asked a friend and they were like, you need a beat. I'll get you this producer. Lots of producers I met back then, it was just Afrobeats, the main genre of Nigeria. Afrobeats is very good, but there's a frequency I was trying to access that I wasn't getting from them. The long and short is that I felt like I had to do it myself. Part of it also was, when you struggle to find people that believe in you, you go extra hard." Tems' pursuit to get her own music out into the world led to the release of her first official song titled Mr. Rebel in 2018, in which she produced and wrote in only 30 minutes. The song tells the story of a twisted love story with someone that challenges you and breaks you down, but their presence makes you stronger in the process. Though Tems only released the song just to have something in her portfolio, in case she ever met someone legit in the music industry, she had no expectations for the song to blow up in the Nigerian music scene the way that it did. As the song gained huge traction, it gained a cult following from fans who later dubbed themselves as the Rebel Gang, thus officially forming Tems' fan base. The song also caught the attention of Tems' current manager, Muyiwa Oyeniyi, who was in the middle of a recording session with the band Sons of Sonics when he first heard her song Mr. Rebel. Muyiwa said, one of my boys came out of the recording room and he was like, dude, we've been in a session with this girl and she's just been saying no to everything we've played. When I heard that, I already knew that this was an artist who knew exactly what she wanted. When they told me her name was Tems, I remembered her from when I used to look for artists to work with on SoundCloud. Back then, I came across one of her songs called Mr. Rebel and fell in love with her voice. So I ended up talking to her and the conversation lasted 2 hours. Then about after 4 months of friendship, one day she asked me to be her manager. In 2019, Tems followed up by releasing 2 more singles, Luku Luku and Try Me, in which the latter song was an anthem in Nigeria and a staple on the Nigerian music television channel, and was also heavily influenced by the Amapiano genre, which also set the trajectory for her style of music. When discussing how she would be categorized as an artist, Tems said that one thing she knows for sure is that she is the first of her kind, whatever her kind is. When describing what her sound is, Tems described it as an amalgamation of jazz, R&B, dancehall, soul, Afrobeats, and pop. Additionally, Tems noted that she wanted to make music that was powerful, passionate, and to release songs that provide emotional clarity and peace of mind. When talking to Kendrick Lamar about how she was able to establish herself as an R&B artist, as opposed to being boxed into strictly being an Afrobeats artist, Tems said, I believed in myself so much that I didn't really care if I never became anything or anyone. I just wanted to get my message out. I want to get my frequency out, and I was like, even if 10 people hear this, it's fine. But also along the way, I used to listen to a lot of Nigerian music, and I wasn't getting a lot of spiritual. I love Celine Dion, so I love that intense feeling of, I'm about to jump off a cliff. That's how I want my music to feel all the time, and Afrobeats wasn't necessarily giving me that type of stimulation. Everyone I asked for advice was, the only way you could do this is Afrobeats. It's not that your music is bad, it's just that it doesn't fit in Nigeria. Nigerians don't like this, and that's not a lie, and it's not a bad thing, but I felt in my heart that that's okay. I'm okay with no one liking it. I just want to make this music. I want to make music that makes me pull my heart out, and if I can't do that, I don't want anything. I would rather do that and be broke than compromise. I didn't really care about the money. It's not that money is bad. Money is very good, but for me, even right now, I'm chasing a frequency. The success of Tems' first few singles set the stage for her to release her first official EP titled For Broken Ears on September 25, 2020. The EP, which Tems served as the sole songwriter and lead producer, featured the standout songs Higher, Damages, and Free Mind, in which Free Mind reached #1 on the US Afrobeats chart and #1 on the hip hop and R&B radio, and was also certified platinum. The theme of For Broken Ears centered largely around the depression, toxic relationships, the battle of Tems' inner mind, and her journey for healing and spiritual searching for her true self. Her extreme, intimate, and vulnerable sonic meditations and quest for liberation beautifully radiates as it shows the level of transparency Tems is willing to share with her listeners. When asked what inspires her to be so vulnerable in her music, Tems said, to be honest, I didn't know that people just wrote songs they didn't mean. I thought everybody was going through what they were singing about. I was very naive. I didn't know that people lie. I didn't know that people didn't write their own songs. Music has always been my expression of how I felt. It's always been my life. I wasn't trying to go against anything because I didn't know there was anything to go against. That same year, Tems' team sent her a non-disclosure agreement document that she had to sign. It was sent by a representative from Beyonce's team, as Tems was invited to attend a writing camp for Beyonce's 2022 Renaissance album, in which Tems later became a contributing collaborator for the song Move that was featured on the album. Later that year, Tems' star power rose exponentially as she was featured on fellow Nigerian Wizkid's song Essence off of his album Made in Lagos, released on October 30th, 2020. After hearing Tems' song Try Me, Wizkid invited her to a recording session in which Tems chose the instrumental and began to freestyle over it. The song became a worldwide hit as it became the first Nigerian song in history to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and Billboard Global 200, peaking at number 9 and number 28 respectively. The song also won a Soul Train Award, 2 NAACP Image Awards, and was nominated at the Grammys for Best Global Music Performance, in which Nicki Minaj once said that the Grammys should have better recognized Essence for Song of the Year. A year later, the song continued to gain further global recognition when singer Justin Bieber was featured on the remix. In December 2020, Tems served 2 days at a Ugandan jail along with fellow artist Amale for supposedly violating the country's COVID protocols. During these 48 hours, Tems' manager worked to get in touch with the president of Uganda to urge for her release. While she was there, this experience granted Tems perspective on her life, in which she said, "It showed me what love really means, what love really looks like. And love is not a feeling, it's not action, it's a way of life, it's a state of being. There is no reason to be sad. Yes, sitting there in prison, I wasn't sad. You see things for what they really are, and you meet the most incredible people. I was there for a reason." All of the success Tems was experiencing up until this point resulted in her being praised and co-signed by other musicians like Rihanna and Adele, in which Adele went out to dinner in LA with Tems and sung her song Try Me to Tems. In addition to Drake, in which Drake featured Tems on his song Fountains off of his Certified Lover Boy album, released on September 3rd, 2021. When describing their first interaction with Drake, Tems' manager said, "So many celebrities were in Tems' DMs wanting to meet her, and there was a time when Drake came to meet us at an Airbnb we were staying at in LA. Very quickly, he was like, yo, where you guys are staying at is not making sense, so let me put you in another place." So Drake put us in our first ever mansion in LA, and that was another imposter type thing because it's like, I'm in a huge mansion, but I haven't actually got any money in my pockets right now. A few weeks later, Tems officially signed to RCA Records and its subsidiary Since 93, which preceded the release of Tems' sophomore EP titled If Orange Was a Place, which once again was solely written by Tems, with production from Guilty Beats. This project featured other standout tracks such as Crazy Things and Found featuring Brent Faiyaz. Tems described this project by saying, "I think this one is more fun. After I healed, I let everything go and I started to live. I started to enjoy life, and this is what this EP is. It's like a sequel. After healing comes life, comes fun, comes vibes, comes dancing. I think this one is more fun." On April 29, 2022, Tems was featured alongside Drake for Future's song Wait For You off of his album I Never Liked You, in which it sampled Tems' song Higher off of her For Broken Ears EP. The song went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, which not only became Tems' first #1 song, but she made history as the first African female artist to top the charts. The song also won the Grammy Award for Best Melodic Rap Performance at the 2023 ceremony, which marked Tems' very first Grammy. The rest of 2022 continued to be a huge year for Tems, as she was tapped by Marvel and director Ryan Coogler to record 2 songs for the soundtrack for the Black Panther Wakanda Forever film. The first song was featured in the trailer for the movie, which was a rendition of the Bob Marley reggae song No Woman No Cry, which was a heartfelt and soulful tribute to celebrating the life of a loved one who has passed away, which made the emotional plot of the film much more palpable. The second song Tems contributed to the film would be Lift Me Up, in which she co-wrote, which was sung by Rihanna, that was later nominated for Best Original Song at the 2023 Oscars and Golden Globes. On October 5th, 2023, Tems returned with her first solo release since 2021 with the ethereal and spiritual song Me and You, which Tems also directed the music video and received the award for Outstanding International Song at the NAACP Image Awards. When describing her process to creating this song, which is essentially a love letter to God, Tems said, "It was around the time I shot the video for Essence, and when I heard it, I just went into a trance and I was having a conversation with God about, I'm not sure what it was. I was just in a trance, and I didn't remember what I had done until I recorded it, but it was really just about the conversation surrounding commitment and faith. I think when you create anything, period, you're tapping into something spiritual because you're creating something from nothing. I think music is very spiritual no matter what it sounds like, no matter where it's from, no matter whether it's acknowledged or not. I think music always has an energy, and I just want to be as honest as I can in my music." 2 months later, Tems followed up by releasing the soulful ballad titled Not an Angel, which is about reasserting your self-worth and finding the strength to leave a person who is no longer benefiting you. In March 2024, Tems was honored with the Billboard Women in Music Award for Breakthrough Artist, in which she became the first African singer to be awarded. During this time, she told Billboard magazine that her debut album would be officially released this year. A month later at Coachella, Tems previewed her newest single titled Love Me Jeje during her set. Love Me Jeje interpolates the 1997 classic Afrobeats song Love Me Jeje by Seye Sodumu, but with Tems' version, she crafted a jovial, euphoric, and island ambiance about the blissful joys of love that automatically puts you in a good mood and has most definitely been on repeat for me. Once again, Tems directed a music video which depicts Tems in her hometown of Lagos hanging out with her friends, singing, dancing, and riding around the town happily enjoying herself. A day after Coachella Week 1, Tems posted a trailer finally announcing her album title, stating that the album will be released the following month in May. Then on May 10th, Tems officially released the alluring and captivating cover art to her album titled Born in the Wild, to be released on June 10th, 2024, followed by her tour dates announcement scheduled for later that year. Tems once said in an interview with Elle magazine that, "It's about self-awareness. I don't need to tell you who I am because it doesn't even matter if you know who I am or not. I know who I am. There's nothing you could do to change my destiny. Nothing you could do to change anything. I'm here because somebody brought me here, and I'm going to do my thing until the day I die." Out of all the African-based artists that have debuted within the last couple of years, Tems is by far my favorite because her music has that soulful essence to it, similar to how Sade or Lauryn Hill's music will make you feel. You can sense the pain, freedom, the passion, desire, longing, devotion, and can viscerally feel the conviction in their lyrics. When I hear Tems sing, I have no doubt this is coming from her gut, and the fact that she freestyles most, if not all of her songs, is a testament to how strongly she takes pride in her artistry and how beautifully she is able to create poetry and melodies with the most vulnerable subject material. I admire that Tems' primary mission when she gets into the studio is to heal either her heart or the listener's soul, because it shows how intentional she is with creating music that is timeless and authentic. I would say some of my favorite songs so far by Tems would be Higher, Free Minds, Ice-T, Love Me Jeje, Me and You, and Crazy Things. Let me know in the comments what you all think about Tems and if you have any favorite songs from her. Depending on when you're watching this video, are you looking forward to her debut album? Or what are some of your favorite songs off of the album? What artist does Tems remind you of, or do you feel like she has her own style or sound that is different from anyone we have heard before? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you next time.